Alright guys, welcome back to the series of Adult Adventure video. So Merlin dropped this morning and she is a character that I'm a bit indifferent on. And if you want to know if you should summon, probably not. The character is decent, good, like she has a use in the game, right? It's just I feel like a lot of teams will probably end up replacing her more often than other characters, and also she's very annoying and tricky to play that sometimes I think, why am I even bothering her a little bit? What do I mean? The main use of why I use this character is simply just for that little crit buff. This actually, to be fair, does make a big difference. I'll show some gameplay on screen that I recorded a second ago where we just versed a found a boss go far. I was getting absolutely murked in the raid boss, couldn't survive, had to bring a healer to keep the barn and Escalon alive, where I said, okay, you know what, I'm not going to do that, and instead I'm going to lean more towards Merlin, just go full crit damage, full burst damage quick, and I was able to defeat it. So the crit chance does make a difference, at least in that raid boss. But when it comes to normal raid bosses, like, you know, just progressive through normal stages, it does get a bit tedious. Not to say that is bad, but the biggest annoyance I found so far, and you can, to be fair, simply fix it by moving Merlin towards the back line, but this more has come down towards, I think, the AI a little bit, and hopefully I can show you a lot what I mean by it. But essentially, when you use the ultimate, it knocks the opponent back, right? And sometimes it kind of breaks the characters. Like, you'll see right now if she does it. So she'll use the ultimate. Now, the opponent didn't get knocked back. Did she miss? I think she might have missed. Which, to be honest with you lot, her missing might be a good thing, because I've had some runs where I knocked the opponent back, my whole team has to run around, and it kind of breaks the AI. I want to try and showcase a little bit. Gopher, you lot know, is in my backline. I've ended some runs off where Gopher is in their backline. Okay, there you go. So they got knocked back a little bit, but that sometimes can break the AI, depending on how heavy the character is, if that's even a thing in the game. Yeah, look, Gopher's running over there. Why is he running over there? What? And then they run. It's a weird thing. I don't understand it. It's a bug towards Merlin, I think, a little bit, but it's like that few seconds of Gopher running away can ruin your run a little bit. And unless I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it's because of the knockback. Like, I've never noticed that before until now. So she used the ultimate, they get knocked back, kind of breaks the AI a little bit, and then when characters want to start ulting, like when Gopher ults, they'll start running around. Yeah, look, Gopher runs around. Look, he has to... oh. That can't be just because of Merlin, right? Let me take her out. Alright, so let's see if the Gopher runs around this time, or any other character. Okay, so Gopher ulted and ran straight in. So, yeah, it's clear that the actual, like, knockback from Merlin does break the AI a little bit, which, once again, can be really annoying. I'm hoping that gets fixed, because, like I said, that shouldn't be a thing. And if the character wasn't already on the borderline of being somewhat skippable, that's definitely not going to help our case a little bit. If you're wondering my potential, I have given her full attack, which I am not going to be keeping. I'm probably going to go towards HP. Her damage is okay. I mean, granted, I'm a nightmare, right? So, like, you know, no one's really doing damage. And to be fair, she might be missing a little bit as well. But, like, you know what? It's not bad. Like, it's actually not bad. Like, you know, getting towards high deep level, I don't regret it. Like, it's nice. That's going to be obviously just, you know, for a support character, even though my king is somehow catching up. To be fair, they're like the same level. I just got extra bit of potential. It's fine. I don't mind it. Like, her damage is decent. At least when it comes to, like, actual normal stages. But let's go towards PvP now, because I'd say there's a few problems with PvP. So the first one is just character space. In PvP, you're not running the exact same team. So, for example, what I've been running normally is like something along this lines where we have, you know, 2 tank characters. But I guess for the sake of the video, I'm going to remove it so I can put in king. But, like, yeah, normally in PvP, you have to bring your tank character, sometimes 2, sometimes 3 tanks, right? And you also have to bring Gilfrost because he's a must in PvP. And then because of that, you're limited on space. You of course want to bring Escanor. You probably want to bring Barn because he's one of your 3 characters you probably duped out a little bit. So that's, you know, another 4 characters you have to bring. So that's another 5 guaranteed characters you have to bring. You also want to bring a healer. And then Debrieri is also kind of a must little bit in PvP. You don't have to use her. If you have a duped out, you probably will end up using her because she does do really good damage. So you only have 1 spot available, which, like I said, I'm normally going towards a tank, or maybe you want to go towards Gopher, or even have kind of a melee, for example. So, like, I think I'd rather just bring Gopher, but for the sake of the video, we'll bring, obviously, Merlin. Ultimate order, to be fair, what I will do is this, where, like, you can buff remove, deal damage to your backline, and followed by Escanor. It does look a pretty good combo. Especially if like Merlin and Escanor like on each other a little bit, they'll kind of like just like literally send ults at the same time. That could be a good combo. Okay, so I versed Leo because he's got a pretty decently built up team, but then again, his CC is not the highest, so we'll probably end up winning anyway. So we'll see how much damage Merlin actually does. But once again, it's hard to evaluate her, you know, value on the team because you're just increasing your crit chance. You know, Escanor's doing damage, but Escanor's always doing damage. So we get the ult off there, and you follow by Escanor. Like, that can be pretty good, and you can't really see it, right? But, it's a guarantee what Escanor, no one can have any buffs on. The damage does reach the backline a little bit, so sometimes Merlin can remove the shields. But in terms of her damage, it isn't great. So, considering that I got 4 attack potentials, and she only has 50 range, I'm definitely going to be putting probably more HP on towards her. Especially because I think right now, a lot of people... I'm hoping to find one a little bit, actually. But there should be some Derriere running around. So, there we go. We found one. So, I think... maybe she won't, but if Derriere does run towards the Merlin, I do think Merlin is a pretty decent counter because you'll buff remove the actual Derriere. Remember, when Derriere removes her buffs, she loses the attack speed, the combo style as well. Granted, the Derriere is really annoying me, but I think we killed her. Now, I'm thinking my Derriere's going to rinse through it, but I'm also like not having that energy, so it's hard to get my ultimates off. So I'm not healing as much either. Merlin actually, to be fair, now doing a lot mainly because Escanor did die. So that's not really a fair trial. So almost do you feel like you just rather use Monster over Merlin, at least in PvP. But we'll see if it makes a difference here. So Merlin's going to buff remove the actual, the Derriere. And she's still tanking though. She's going to get better. But I guess that kind of kept my team alive a little bit. But she's obviously rinsing through me. My team was not built to kind of counter Derriere a little bit, which is kind of fine. Damage is okay. She's stacking up a little bit. She's surviving. And she's, to be fair, probably stalling the Derriere enough. Like, I think we just survived because she did buff remove. And we do kill her. Okay. But then my Derriere's not doing a lot as well. Do we actually win this? If we buff remove the actual draw... immortality, then we probably will, so, but I don't think we have the damage for it now. Hang on, Merlin might cook here. Oh, she didn't kill. If she gets the off again, we do win. Hang on. She buff removes the draw. Oi! Okay, she kind of came in clutch a little bit. Okay, so yeah, in PvP, you can definitely use her. It's just you're very limited on slots, and you'd probably rather use a Gopher or even a Monspeed. All right, let's try her out in the Advent boss battle. Remember, boss battle is all about getting a high score, so I do think Merlin will have quite a big use in some content going forward. Let's just see right now if anyone has updated the teams with Merlin in the team, which might not be the case here. There's one. So, like, people will be using her in, like, when you have to get a high score, because getting crits does actually matter, right? Now, you got to remember, for Monspeed, he does have to successfully land an attack to get that debuff off, which, if you're not high duped out, you may not be able to use him, and especially as the boss takes more damage, they're going to get more and more, like, evasion, so you're more likely to miss with characters. So that actual 20%, your constant crit buff is actually going to be good here. So I do think for, like, normal... high score challenges for like Advent boss battles is for what we have right now. She will be pretty good. Wow, yo. The cruel sun from him, hello? The first time I've seen the animations, they're kind of crazy. But I might want to bring a healer. This is my first time. I actually don't know if this is going to be a good run. And I guess we just pay attention towards the crits a little bit. There are probably, to be fair, more crits going off than not. But there are a lot of people missing. Okay, so we got, what, 16 mil there? I actually don't know if that's good. All right, so we survived that. Then we just cleanse a little bit. I think we do remove the actual burns as well, so that could be good. Might get high score. Yes, we got a little bit higher. Once again, it's hard. I know I'm skipping it, right? But it's hard to evaluate because if you just get a big crit from Escanor or Barn, you'll get so much more points. I do think she'd come in a little bit handy in these Advent boss battles. Because I know, like I said before, I was using sometimes just off with the buff up Barn to get a big crit. Yeah, so we got like around 2 million less there, which once again, we may have got that extra 2 mil because we got a really big crit thanks to Merlin. Yeah, it's still bugged. Like, the boss didn't even move and Goldberg's still running around. Yeah, even Monspeed's doing it now. He's in the backline too. What? That is so weird. Okay, so what about the Knighthood boss fights? I'm not too sure. We might try her out in this one, but bear in mind, you have to bring certain characters. So you have to bring, your 3 Infectors. So Ren, Henriksen, Droll. So that's 3 characters. You also want to bring your DPSs. So you're bringing, obviously, Escanor, you're bringing Barn. And then you're probably, obviously, bringing Dario, you want to bring Mon Speed because you get that energy restore, and you also probably want to bring Healer as well. So my highest score right now is 35 mil. So maybe if I take off Glocks and just put in Merlin, let's put probably a bit more forward than Barn actually. Let's just see if we get a higher score than usual. 35 mil with my highest score. Maybe we get some big crits, because I do think that will make a massive difference. And we will lean more towards damage than actually healing, right? All right, so we big ults here. Think we might got some crits there. Merlin ults too. Let's see our damage, actually. Damage is, I mean, I guess it's better than bringing Glocks in here. He's not going to do that much damage. And then we just instantly die. So we got a little bit less score there. And to be fair, I've leveled up my account a lot more since yesterday. So we technically have a lot more stats than usual, actually. So 33 mil again. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know if we're going to use her in, like, most of these bosses. This one right here is red. But anyone in the top ranks using her? Probably not, because you have your already set team, right? Like, we have what works. We don't need to use anything else. Yeah, granted, most of these people may have already done their runs. So we probably haven't updated it with Merlin if they are going to use the Merlin. So yeah, guys, I think that is going to wrap up the video. If they fix that annoying little bug with the Merlin, then she might be a little bit better. But I don't think right now it's a character worth chasing unless you just want to have the character, because you can use her, I think, at a low dupe level. In fact, having her at a low dupe level might be better, because then you're more likely to miss on the ultimate, so you don't break the gopher running around for no reason. And yeah, you can just use in the back line. She has 50 range, so she's not going to get attacked as often, so dupes don't matter. She doesn't need to land attacks to get that crit buff. You can use her by simply using that like 1-star. So I will say at least the benefit is if you want to get an opponent in your team, you definitely can do that. If you also want to skip and also just pull her naturally by saving for your next character or spending a few tickets onto normal standard banner and getting copies of her, then that also could be good as well. I did my I pulled her 3 times on the standard banner already. And yeah, I will say the crit buff is nice. I definitely noticed the difference a little bit. So guys, that is going to wrap up the video. Let me know your experience of Merlin, if you actually have someone for her. And yeah, start saving for probably a rerun banner coming out next week. And if not, we'll get, obviously, you know, hopefully a commandment, because I want some hype. But it might be a new Diane in like 2 weeks time. I'll try her out in the base defense, because that could be really fun, where she does like a massive beam, knocks all the little minions back. You know, it might be a bit more usable. Plus, giving an Escan or crit chance is always going to be nice, right? Even at like a tier 2, so you don't have to fully awaken her in the base defense. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching, and yeah.